Hello, Anurag. Welcome. I've just invited you. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Anurag. Can you hear me? Oh, I think you're gone. So, welcome, everyone. It's all about our speaking and writing sessions. Today is Tuesday, 6:30 a.m. UK time. And as usual, I'm with my another subscribers lesson. I've shared the link. If you're interested to join, you need to click on it. However, it may be eligible to get 2 free lessons. If not, you can subscribe by money, and obviously you'll get some discount if you use the code Team Blue. This is a discount code. Okay, so I'm going to get a page in a moment. Bear with me a moment, please, guys. Okay, I've got the page. So today I'll discuss about writing techniques, if you remember. Um, and if my subscribers are here, I'll suggest you to join me. Okay, so once again, dear viewers, I was waiting for some of my subscribers, but it appears they are not here, or they must be busy somewhere. However, I'm going to share with you another page about the writing. And I believe that will be better. So, briefly capping, I'll writing task as two tasks. Task 1, 20 minutes, minimum 150 words. Task 2, 250 words minimum, 40 minutes. And as a matter of fact, task 1 carries only 30% marks of the total, which is 2.7 out of 9, whereas task 2 carries 70% marks, which is 6.3. So I'll suggest all our IELTS candidates, when you sit for the exam, go with the task 2 first. Please bear in mind that in order to get higher score, you have to complete both of the tasks. You can't just complete only one task. And as you might be aware, the IELTS writing marking sessions, you need to fulfill their criteria. Okay, so I will recap once again the marking criteria. What do you have to write? Give me a moment before that. Task response and achievement, 25%. Coherence and cohesion, another 25%. Lexical resources, 25%. Grammatical range and accuracy, 25%. Okay. And likewise in academic task 1, 20 minutes, 150 words. And task 2, 40 minutes, 250 words minimum. As you say, task 2, we're going to describe task 2 today. Task 2. The greatest question about task 2 is that does the examiner count the words? Yes. JVS, remember, is really a crucial information for you being a candidate, that they do count number of words for the both of the tasks. Either task 1 or task 2, it doesn't matter. Okay. So literally when you have finished writing, you should count the words. Remember, I is a word. In this case, you is a word, obviously. But I is single alphabet though, but it's meaningful, right? So it will be better for you to follow the guidelines, rubrics for the IELTS writing task. All right, and before that, I must explain a little more details how you can write any essay. It doesn't matter whether it's from IELTS exam or outside of IELTS exam. IELTS writing tips. The common and very familiar and accepted writing tips has got three parts: introduction, body, body paragraphs, I should say, and conclusion. And being an IELTS candidate or normal student, sometimes we don't know what to write in introduction. Okay, in introduction, the first thing you have to understand, what does it mean? It is already meaningful, and they introduce the topic or prompt appropriately. I'll give you a little bit elaboration, guys, so that you understand. And in the body paragraph, uh, you explain 2 points at least, with paragraph 1 in 1 point, one idea, and paragraph 2, another point, another idea in a separate paragraphs. In conclusion part is that what you like to suggest, what we have explained from the main topic. So briefly, introduction is tell the readers what you're going to write, and the body parts you're telling them, that is explanation. And conclusion again, you have told them whatever you wanted to tell in a very easy way. Now here is the big and some important information. If you remember, sometimes even people write in a character but they don't get the high score. Bear in mind that we need to focus on those 4 marking criteria: task achievement or task response, coherent and cohesions, which is step-by-step explanation about the topic. Remember, here the very important matter is step by step. That means one step after another, which is linked to the previous step. One easy way to clarify that when you're going by staircase, we put step in one stair at a time, and all the stairs are linked. Likewise, in IELTS writing, that is an important factor. It should be linked to the previous point. As you might be aware that there are a few criteria for having good marks. Number 1 is writing academic or formal verse. Number 2, writing only one kind of spelling technique. Briefly, I'm just saying. Number 3 is wider ranges of grammar and grammatical structure and accuracy. This is very important, guys. Wider ranges of grammar and grammatical structure and accuracy. So when writing sentences, do not write only simple sentences, okay? I'm going to explain to you what other sentence do you need to write in order to get good marks, especially when your target is 7 or above. Okay, and I can guarantee you, if you write this type of sentences in your writing topic, you'll get better marks. better than any other candidate. And sentence variety, I should say, sentence variety or variety of sentences is more important than accuracy. If we go back to Ielts marking description of writing section, it clearly stays there. If you have variety of sentences but less accurate, you get more marks. But I believe that you can write accurate sentences, so don't worry about that. So which sentences do you need to use? These are the 6 sentences: simple sentences, compound, complex sentences, passive sentence or passive voice, we call it sometimes, question sentences. How can you write a question in writing? Obviously, there is a technique, and you need to understand. Honestly, guys, it's a matter of practice, I should say. If you practice well, if you're habituated to writing, obviously, you know the ways how to write and develop. And conditional sentences. So my suggestion would be, in your writing, you use at least one simple sentence, one compound, one complex, one passive sentence, a passive voice, one question sentence, and one conditional. If you use more, that will be great. I always explain in my every live broadcast. Even in your speaking, if you use compound sentences or complex sentences, you'll get more marks. So welcome again, guys. So if you're interested to join, once again, I've shared the link. If you're watching from mobile, the link is on the top of your screen. If you're watching from the web, it should be on the right hand corner. Click on it and you'll be able to join here. And also, I suggest use subordinate conjunction clauses to make a standard of a writing, which will bring high marks. So I'm sure you know that the conjunctions like for the compound sentence, fanboys, and there are other conjugates, conjunction clauses are there. Will come in a moment. So, as you know, in introduction, what are you going to write? Yeah. So commonly things, tell them what you are going to write. And introduction has 3 parts. The first sentence would be, which I always ask our students, in introduction, do not go to the main topic straight away. Write a common and broader background sentence. Okay. Always, when you see the topic, brainstorm for a few seconds to find out what you're going to write. Look at this. This is just an example, guys. Prompt question. Yeah. What are the advantages and disadvantages of renting a house? I've said this is just an example, guys. We are discussing from this topic. Whatever the topic is, first you need to analyze the question. Read it carefully to understand them. This is very important in IELTS exam. Understanding the question, either in listening part or reading part or your speaking part, is very important. If you understood it well, you can answer them well. So that's the fact. Now, remember, in introduction, as I said, that it should have 3 parts. So commonly tell them what you're going to do, right? Yeah. So broader background. Here, what are the advantages and disadvantages of renting your home or house? So the broader background sentence would be related to a home or house. Why do you live in a home or a house? That should be a highlighted point. All right, so you can start writing with by any sentence. Okay. So what do you think, guys? What should we write about the house or home? Why do people like to live in a house? A common sentence, which is broader background sentence. So the common sense would be uh, humans being a, this is what I'm explaining. Disclaimer, this is my thought. Your writing would be different. Being a social person, humans tend to live in a house or home. A house is a place where they rest, they have family, and they spend quality time with other family members. Okay, so this is just an example. You can write something common, broader background sentence, at least one sentence. Then second part says in the introduction, question prompt. And what is the question prompt, guys, in this case? Here we need to understand that topic again. What does the topic ask? What are the advantages and disadvantages of renting a home or house? This is our question. Okay, so question prompt should be paraphrase the your sentence. And it's very important in IELTS exam, paraphrasing correctly, effectively. If you don't know how to paraphrase them, then you better study and write it. And how can you study paraphrasing? That is another challenging question. It's not only here, in many places, even if you're writing a research paper or an article, when you need to get the idea from some other topics, you need to paraphrase it. You can't use the same written research paper from someone else. It will be plagiarized otherwise. So paraphrase is the normal way to write about a sentence in easy and in your own words. So this deals with you must know different kinds of synonyms, and which is very important in IELTS exam or any other writing session. So I'm sure that you study lots of words every day, but you can't remember. You get stuck in some points because you don't use them. So my suggestion would be, when you learn a word, try to know the meaning of the word first, okay? And what kind of parts of speech and how you can use them. It comes back to my same old method, which I've shared many times. When you know a word, know the meaning first, know the parts of speech, like whether it's adjective, noun, or pronoun, or adverb, whether you can create family words. Okay, and also practice writing at least 3 sentences in present tense with the first person and second person and third person. Third person singular, third person plural. So you get 12 sentences easily in present tense. Now change them to past tense and future tense. So you get now 36. 12 from the past, 12 from the future. 36 sentences. And I think it should be enough for you at the beginning to practice any word. Now, question prompt, how you can paraphrase as you see. What are the advantages and disadvantages of renting a home or house? What do you think, guys, the question prompt should be? Okay, let me explain in my own disclaimer. This essay or writing will highlight the benefits of renting a home. You can say benefits and drawbacks of, okay, both, because you're going to explain both of them. Advantage, what's the advantage of the synonyms? What's the synonyms of the word advantage, guys? Let me see. Advantage. In Thesaurus, it says there are 76 synonyms and antonyms. Before that, let us look what kind of word is advantage. Advantage is noun. Advantage. Advantage. So, what are the advantage and disadvantage? That's the question. A condition giving a greater chance of success. So, these are the examples that despite the twin advantages of wealth and beauty, she didn't have a happy life. Okay. Take the advantage of something to use the good things. This word is also used in tennis player who has won the point after deuce. Okay. But here it has been used in a different way. Okay. So what are the other synonyms? In Thesaurus, you can see there are lots of synonyms. Okay. These synonyms are very important for you to know and explain it. Advantage means asset, choice, convenience, dominance, edge, favor, gain, improvement, influence, interest, lead, leverage, position, power, preference, profit, protection, recognition, return, superiority, support, upper hand. See, assistance, authority, avail, blessing, boon, break, comfort, oath, mastery. Now, my question is, so you have to paraphrase. This essay will uh, describe, you can say, or depict, or show, or compare. You can use any of them. Uh, Remember, in Ielts academic writing and many thesis paper, we do not write the first person. Generally, we write the third person or the passive voice. Okay, so in question prompt, you can say that this essay will compare the what are the guys? Remember the synonyms: advantage, beneficial, you can say. Or you can keep the word if you want to. Advantage and disadvantages of renting a home or house. But if you want to write different synonyms, yeah, these as well compare the inconvenience and convenience of renting a property, a house or home. Either. You see, now we got to the second question prompt, yeah, second part of the introduction. Third part, thesis statement. Remember, this is important. Though it says what are the advantages and disadvantages, you have to write only one side in this part. This statement, or we call it overview sometime. So what would be the overview? Here we go to the sentence essay topic. The topic is what are the advantages and disadvantages of renting a home? You can see here the, there is advantage one part, there is advantages, disadvantages. In order to get good marks, you have to just, in this part, this statement and overview, write only one part. That are you going to explain about advantages or disadvantages? You need to decide straight away. Remember, in many cases, our students do not know this fact that you have to write only one of them here in this part in introduction. So, for example, for instance, disclaimer, because I'm explaining, it should be my idea only. If I talk about advantage, you can say uh, it will be discussed about the advantages of renting a home. Or if you don't want to write advantages, then you can write it will be discussed disadvantages of renting a home. Now the air introduction part is over. Okay, now we go to the body part. Okay, I've given an example, broader background house. In many countries, for some people, buying a house is a dream, if not unfavorable. Because of the financial limitations, many people prefer to rent houses, though buying seems difficult. In this essay, it will discuss why renting is a part of flexible lifestyle, but eventually it is financially disadvantageous. Look at this disclaimer. These examples is very amazing because we have used different kinds of sentence structures and tried to explain the broader thought. If you remember, the first part of introduction was broader background. In many countries, for some people, buying a house is dream, if not unfavorable. Okay, so because of the financial limitations, many people prefer to rent house. The buying seems difficult. That's the paraphrase. And the third thesis statement in this essay, it will be discussed by why renting is a part of a flexible lifestyle, but eventually it is financial disadvantages. Or if you want to use the synonyms, inconvenience. Now in body part. Okay, what are you going to write? Remember, this question has, or the essay has two parts. Alright guys, sorry, this is the our main topic. In some countries, most people prefer to rent their houses rather than buy their houses. That was our main topic. And introduction, we're just going to talk about house. So we have explained like this: many countries, for some people, buying house is a dream. And second prompt question is, because of the financial limitation, many people prefer to rent houses, though buying seems difficult. You see, I'm giving both comparison in one sentence with a complex sentence or compound sentence, or both. In this essay, it will discover why renting is part of a flexible lifestyle, but eventually it is financially disadvantageous. Now we're going to this question part, you see. Advantages and disadvantages in the main question part. So in the body part, as you have to write at least two paragraphs. Paragraph 1, your first part, which is advantages. So you have to explain about the advantages of renting. And when you finish it, we go to paragraph 2, which is disadvantages. Now for the body, paragraph 1, we're going to write about the advantages, okay? And the body, paragraph 2, we're going to write disadvantages as well. Now this body paragraph should have 4 parts. This is very important for being Ielts writer. So what does this 4 parts contain? Topic sentence like benefits, and you have to give at least 2 reasons. The first reason one part, second reason another part, and summarize your idea. For instance, this part is going to explain about the advantages. Remember, I'm going to give a clue how we can write it. Renting house is sometimes easier when you don't have enough money. You have the option of renting anywhere, which is could be closest to your workplace if you're a working person or business. Okay, this is the first benefit. Uh, what are the other benefits, guys, of renting? You don't have to worry about the housing tax. You don't have to worry about the other expenses because the house owner is going to fix everything for you. So remember to mention that the topic sentence. In this part, it will be described about the advantages of renting. The topic sentence. First reason why you support renting, because it is easy to rent. Number two, reason number two, you have write another sentence. Uh, renting is flexible than buying house, especially when you move somewhere or when your job is in a different place. Then you summarize your idea. After consideration of these points, it is obvious that renting is really a better option than buying a property or house or home. Remember, Ielts exam and writing part is also writing a story. The way it is instructed by the rubrics, we call it. Okay, guys. Now, um, okay. So you have summarized after considering these 2 points. I it is preferable to rent property. Now, body part two. Remember from the question prompt. Yeah, the question prompt again. We're showing the question prompt. In some countries, that's the topic. Most people prefer to rent their houses or homes rather than buy their house. Brainstorm for a few seconds. What are the advantages and disadvantages? Yeah. You see, you have described about advantages in body paragraph 1, and it will be described disadvantages. Same 4 parts you should have. Explain the second idea. What would be the topic sentence, guys, in this case? The topic sentence should be uh, for many reasons renting has disadvantages. Now for the second part, body part. Let's go with the body. Paragraph 1. Explain one idea. So we'll explain one idea. The disadvantage. Disadvantage. So in body paragraph 2, you're going to explain about disadvantage. Then topic sentence. Reason 1, why do you think disadvantage? Reason 2, then summarize. Right again. So you'll describe in the body paragraph 2 disadvantage. And it'll start like this. Disclaimer, it is my writing. You can write in a different way. If you remember, I've explained in Ielts, writing and speaking both are like, and writing, creating story in a very logical way, following all the rubrics. Whereas in speaking, you're speaking and creating story, following the rubrics. Though the rubrics have some similarities, but are also dissimilar, characteristics, and you need to be aware of it. So why it is disadvantage for renting the property? It should be highlighted in the first topic sentence. And you'll say reason, renting has got many disadvantages. And one of them is that though you're paying the rent, but this house won't be yours. Okay, this is one disadvantage. One reason. And second reason, you can say in the second line that in many cases you need to leave the property because when the owner gives you notice to leave the property, so that is really disadvantages. Remember, these are my thoughts. You can write something else. There are many disadvantages. Then you summarize our idea that after routine analysis of these points, I tend to disagree, okay, to rent the property. So we go back to now conclusion. I'm planning to finish this. The conclusion part, remember, it should have two parts in conclusion. Remember, in the basic way we have said in conclusion part, you have to explain what you have told them. And the first part should be you're giving this common insight, like this essay or writing or the topic has discussed, depicted, explained, or showed or analyzed the advantages or disadvantages of renting a home. Go back to that topic, guy. In some countries, most people prefer to rent their house rather than buy their houses. Look at the conclusion part. Conclusion part, you say, this essay discussed and again depicted, explained, or showed, analyzed the advantages or compared, you can say, of disadvantages of renting house. And after that, you add your logic that here, remember, in conclusion part, you can write first person because you're adding your comment or opinion, or you're suggesting or you're advising. In my opinion, renting is better in many cases because it gives you the flexible lifestyle. It gives you the option to leave the house anytime and you can move anywhere if you like. So then you're concluding your essay. Now, challenge and facts. What happens? Remember, IELTS exam is a time control exam. Whatever you do or whatever you write, you have to do within the stipulated time. And if you remember, I've always suggested our candidates for the exam to start with writing task 2, okay, and which will help you to monitor your time. Keep a timer or practice at home, guys. I'll suggest you practice at home. Do not go to the exam without being prepared. You won't get good marks. It will be disappointing for you because IELTS exam, the fees are very expensive. You don't want to spend your money for nothing, right? So it's better to prepare, practice at home, and get a lesson from a qualified teacher, qualified person. Once again, thank you very much, guys, for watching this, and please follow me, support me. You'll get the notification when I'm on my live broadcast. Okay, you can watch and learn a lot of things. Thank you and bye.